What's up, everybody? Um, Want to attempt to get an MRE review in before I head off the bed. Since it's technically my dinner time after work, I figured I'd go ahead and get a MRE review underway. So I went ahead and filled the canteen up that I just bought, and surprisingly, it doesn't leak, which is a good thing. For as cheap as it is, I expected it to leak, but it does seem to hold water pretty reliably for being so cheap. But anyway, the MRE that we're going to do tonight, which is one I've been kind of wanting to try for a long time, ever since I first got them in, but we're going to do. Yeah. All right, there it is. We're going to do menu number 16, and that's the rib-shaped barbecue flavored pork patty. Of course, I could imagine this is probably going to be a very popular menu amongst the soldiers. Just about everybody likes the rib-shaped barbecue pork patty, I'm sure. So we'll go ahead and get this opened up here. Kind of doing this off camera because everybody's seen me open these I don't know how many times, and it's the same process every time, so there's really no need to kind of bore everybody with it. It's the same deal, you're just peeling it open from the top. There we go. Finally got into it. Alrighty. So there's the main bag, and of course what we have inside the main bag is the ever so popular AmeriQual separate bag inside the bag. I did remember the other name of the maker of MREs that I couldn't remember before, and it was Warnick. Warnick makes MREs too, but I think they're mainly their main focus is on the RCWs, or the ration cold weathers. I think they mainly make those, and then Spillage and AmeriQual make the regular MREs for the most part. Alrighty, so we finally got in the main pouch here and got everything out. Go ahead and put that down in there. Alright, right off the bat here we have, there's the pork patty itself, and as you can see it's kind of a small patty, but I guess it doesn't need to be very big at all, really. It's just a little, probably just big enough to make a small sandwich. And then here's the sleeve for it, for your everything goes for when everything's in the FRH. It goes in that sleeve. It's just the insulated sleeve for that. I did forget to pull up on there the lot code for it. I don't know if it'll show up, but it says the 302nd day of 2015. So this is just under 3 years old. This stuff is now, since we just crossed into 2019. And here's an interesting one I haven't tried yet, and that's the Santa Fe rice and beans. Packed the 309th day of 2015. And what was that? Okay, that was the second. So those two items right there were packed literally days from each other in 2015. And it's at the end of 2015 too, so it's not too awful bad. But anyway, here's our accessory pack. And it was packed the 307th day of 2015. And it is accessory packet B, which is just your coffee, creamer, moist towelette. It's got the red pack, which is cinnamon gum, your toilet paper, and there's a beverage base in there. I'm trying to see what flavor it is. It's beverage-based lemonade is what's in there. It's kind of covered up a little bit, but ain't no big deal. Oh boy. MRE peanut butter. It seems like they put peanut butter probably about 7 times out of 10. Or like, okay, out of the 24 menus, they probably put peanut butter in about 15 or 16 menus out of 24 menus. To me, it's kind of ridiculous at how many menus that they put the peanut butter in. The peanut butter, let's see. Whoops. Okay, it doesn't say on the peanut butter when it was packed or when it was made, but I'm sure it was sometime in 2015. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning. We have the wheat snack bread twin pack. But it just feels like there's just one wheat snack bread in there for whatever reason. But here's the wheat snack bread, and it's Sterling Foods, so it's Sterling Foods is out of San Antonio, Texas. Just for anybody's information that was curious about where Sterling Foods is from. And this was a little bit earlier in the year. This was 244th day of 2015. That's pretty interesting. Let's see what else we got. Okay, here we go. So here's the barbecue sauce for the rib-shaped patty. Now this is going to be kind of questionable on this. I'm kind of curious of what they're trying to get you to do with this pork patty. I would think normally you would be trying to make like a McRib sandwich from McDonald's, but they don't really have. I mean, they just have the snack bread in there for obviously your peanut butter. So what are you supposed to do with the pork patty? Just eat it by itself, I guess. Well, that's what we'll do then. Okay, here's an interesting one. This is your cocoa beverage powder. This stuff is really good. I love the cocoa beverage powder. You can't really beat it. It's nice and sweet, and really gets the job done with giving you your caloric intake. Okay, here's something new I haven't had yet, and this is the Cran Apple Ranger bar. And it was packaged the 260th day of 2015, so that's going to be very interesting to try that out. I'm thinking it might be something similar to a First Strike bar, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So it'll be interesting to give that a try. We'll give that a try after we get the main inside the FRH. Okay, so now that we got some strawberry jam, so we're going to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the wheat snack bread. I'm not too big a fan of the wheat snack bread. For me, it just tastes like, it reminds me a lot of like the wheat toast that they used to give me when I was in school, like toward the later years of my school years. Um, Seems like when Obama got in office in 2000, what was that? 2008. Our school lunches went. To me, our school lunches just went to crap. We got really crappy school lunches, and it was mainly because of Michelle Obama was trying to implement the healthy eating program for schools across the country or whatever, and she wound up taking all the good food out. She took all the snack machines out. She took all the pop machines out, and all we was left with was water machines. And we got wheat toast for breakfast every day, and fruit juices and all that weird stuff. And she basically turned school lunches and school breakfast into a travesty. Like, it was almost to the point to where I didn't even want to eat the school lunch anymore and take my own lunch. But oh well. But anyway, there's my little rant. But anyway, and then here's our MRE spoon. These are still one of the top-notch spoons in rations across the world. I think the Canadians have come out with an updated version of that same spoon, and it is now a sport, which I'm surprised that we haven't adopted it by now, which we may have by now. This is an older ration, so we may have adopted the sport by now in the newest rations. And let's see, here's our little cardboard card for the Santa Fe rice and beans. It kind of tells nutrition facts and stuff. And then here's our good old famous ration here, tried and true. So since we have two mains, it's going to need to be heated up: the rice and beans and the pork patty. I'm going to try and get both those things in the FRH, and I'm going to try to not destroy the FRH like I did with the last one. I kind of put holes in it trying to put the FRH in there. But this one comes with salt. Okay, so accessory B is the one without coffee. Yeah. It's just salt, a moist towelette, toilet paper, cinnamon gum, and that beverage-based lemonade. That's interesting. I thought it had coffee. Well, that's alright, because since I'm getting ready to go to bed, I don't need coffee anyway. So that worked out in my favor anyways. The beverage-based lemonade was packed the 280th day of 2015. It's not going to show up on camera. It's like a real faint text on that. So, as always, since this is an older ration, we'll go ahead and get salt in the FRH. Give that thing the best possible chance of working. Now, for your information, your FRHs, what I've come to learn from other ration reviewers like Old Smoky and Steve 1989 and Nathan's MREs, they'll all tell you that the FRH, if it goes outside of a year, your best bet is just to go ahead and put salt in it, because the FRHs are really they're only good for maybe a few years at best. Outside of a year, just go ahead and put the salt in there, and you'll have no problems with it working. That's always your best bet, in my opinion, on that. Let's see. Alright. Got our FRH opened up here. Let's get the salt opened up. Get it in, some of it in there. You don't need very much salt. You only need about 20 to 25% of your packet of salt for the FRH, and that still leaves you plenty of salt for your mains if you need it. I'm kind of sorry that I don't really have much of a place set up to do ration reviews yet. I've kind of got a cluster of a mess in here right now, so I should be plenty good enough, really. Let's go ahead and crack this canteen opened up here and see what kind of a water mess I can make. I did fill the canteen kind of full, so I'm kind of hoping that this doesn't wind up being a mess of water. Alright. Oops. Probably wouldn't be a good idea to put water in that if you ain't got nothing in it. Alright. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that if you're going to heat 2 items up in an FRH, it's always going to be a good idea too to go ahead and put your salt in there, because salt gives an FRH extra power. So to heat 2 items up, just go ahead and put salt in there anyways. And try to get that heating element in between. Try and get that heating element in between both items there. That way it'll have the best chances of heating both items. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera or not, but if you can see the elements down there, it's in between both items that I'm wanting to heat up. So I'll go ahead and get the water in there. What else is going to be? It doesn't take much water at all to do these. Alright. And there we go. We'll go ahead and get this in the sleeve. I did not poke holes in the FRH bag this time, so we're already off to a good start here. I plan on trying to make me a place to do these reviews so that I can actually film a little bit better and get everything laid out a little bit better. Right now it's kind of a cluster, so I'm just kind of winging it here for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this up a little bit, try to get that water displacement even on that heating element. That way the heating element takes off and we get both items going here. Now while that's waiting for that to go, I'm going to try to read something off the front of here. What's on the back? Okay. So on the back of every one of these sleeves, it has helpful information to the soldiers for different situations. And this one right here, it says, military rations are good performance meals. Food gives you energy. The more energy you burn, the more food you need. Seems to make sense. says, you are more active during field training, deployment, and combat. During field training, deployment, and combat than in garrison. You need to eat more and drink more water or other fluids in these situations. When you don't eat enough to meet your body's energy needs, you lose weight. Thus can lead to a loss of body fluids and degrade your performance. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, same old deal here, but that's pretty interesting to note. So we'll go ahead and get this MRE kind of going a little bit. It doesn't feel like it's getting hot yet, so either I don't have any water on that pad or something's not taking off. We might have a dud on our hands. I sure hope not. Because these items in this FRH definitely need to be heated. You're supposed to like lay it flat until it starts getting warm, and then you're supposed to set it on your rock or something. Of course, the instructions doesn't really tell you that, but I sure hope we don't got it good. Alright, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but oh geez. What, we got a leaker? Oh. I think we got a leaker. Oh, jeez. Let's leak. Ah, okay. Well, I think it started leaking because I was shaking it around. So I lost some of my water out of it from it leaking, from shaking it. We'll just add the water that I lost back into it. It's a little too much, but since we're trying to heat two things. So this time what I'll do is I'll roll it down a couple times to help it seal a little bit better. But that sleeve is really wet now from where it leaked. And it's actually coming apart now. Great. Well, as you can kind of see here, it's the water on these sleeves doesn't really help them stay together. They fall apart pretty fast once they get wet. But that's a shame. I can smell it starting to take off, so I don't know. Let me find my rock or something. Okay, I just laid that off to the side and let it do its thing. Probably about as good as it'll get with that. So next thing I'm going to prepare, since I still got my canteen out here. The canteen actually does seem to be making prepping this stuff a little bit easier, so I don't know, maybe right there is where the canteen's set, and I don't know if I can get try to pan it up here a little bit. I don't know, I got the canteen setting up right there. This is my little workstation here right now. So a good trick with these beverage bags is you see that fill line right there. What you want to do is you want to fold your pack on that fill line. That way it puts a line on the inside of the bag, and you know where to fill it to. It's a pretty nifty trick, and I think Old Smoky was the one that mentioned that on one of his ration review videos when he had one of these pouches. And it seems to be a pretty good trick. And I don't know where he got that trick from. He might have got it from Steve 1989. I don't know. But we'll go ahead and fold that, just like Old Smoky does. He might have picked that up off of a military guy, for all I know. And now, as you can see where I folded that, it makes a nice crisp line on the inside, and we should be able to very easily tell where to fill it to. And these have a little Ziploc seal inside of them. And what you want to do is you're just going to kind of peel it open like this, and then you get it open there, and you can just kind of see down there a little bit that it's got that Ziploc seal. And we'll go ahead and put some water in this and shake it up some and get that mixed up. If I can see my line. I can't really see my line anymore. It works good if you do it right. Okay, I see my line there now. Take a couple tries. Oops, look at me go spilling it. Maybe just a splash more. Alright, that's probably good right there. If I can show you down in here, I don't know if it'll pick up or not. Nah, you won't be able to see it, but I got it up to about where the line's at. And then what you want to do is you want to just Ziploc it back closed. And then roll it down a couple times till you got something like that, and then just shake it. It's probably about as hard as you can. I'm just going to shake it around like that and let that mix up. It's kind of like, it's actually kind of convenient, I think, just to, they have these little pouches, you just work it up there. Alright, I got that one done. Let me get a glass to do this beverage base in. I don't want to put whatever happened to it. Where is it? Yeah. I don't know what I did with my beverage base. Beverage base lemonade. I'll set it down somewhere. I don't know. It's here somewhere. I just had it. Oh well. I'll find it in a minute. Okay. So since this is probably about the only new item that I've gotten out of everything else that's in here besides the main entrees, I'll go ahead and opened up this Crane Apple Ranger bar, and we'll give that a look and see what we got going on here. Oh boy. These do have the little do not eat oxygen absorbers in them, so just make sure that's not stuck to it, or you pull that out and eat it. But this is what we got. This is called the Ranger bar, the Crane Apple Ranger bar. Kind of looks like a Fig Newton in a way, just with a rougher cookie type outer piece. let's go ahead and give it a bite and see what it tastes like. There's a cross section on that. It just, it ain't got a whole lot of filling in it. But that does eat just like a Fig Newton bar. So it kind of looks like a fig bar. It eats like a fig bar. It's got 25% vitamin C, a little bit of iron, a little bit of calcium, no vitamin A, like 2 grams of protein. That's about it. So it's not the most nourishing thing, but so I guess what this is just pure carbohydrates and calories. It's got 28 grams of carbs and 190 calories. It weighs 1.5 ounces. So it's just pretty much a carbohydrate food. Here's our trans fat free. Oh geez, spilling water everywhere. I knew this wasn't a good idea to try to do this on here, but I'm making more of a mess than I am anything else. Let's go ahead and close that back up, the canteen. Kind of hard to spill water if it's closed. Oh well, it's just water. It ain't like it's going to hurt anything. Alright, take 2. We'll try and we'll open up this trans fat free wheat snack bread. Oh, okay. So there really was 2 in there. I thought there was just 1, but there's 2 thin pieces. Okay, well, that makes sense. So now, since there's 2 wheat snack breads, I'm going to use one for the peanut butter and jam, and I'm going to use the other one for the pork patty. And then eat the rice on its own. That seems to be the only way I know to do this ration. Check that up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and give the cocoa beverage powder a try. Last time I had this, it was pretty good, but it was also out of the 2017 date of production Case A ration. So let's see how the we'll see how the age has affected it, if any at all. It still tastes just as good as the 2017 one I had, so. It says on here that you can add hot or cold water to this. So you can have a hot chocolate, or you could just have a regular chocolate milk type beverage. So that makes sense there. Let me check on that FRH and see if we got anything out of it. Oh yeah. So the FRH has gotten hot on me, so it's definitely working. That's good. I was kind of worried about that thing for a while. I didn't know if I was going to have to get to eat it hot or cold, which for this ration, this is probably one of them rations that you can eat hot or cold, and it would be good either way. Some of these rations to me don't seem like they'd be that good cold, like that chicken chunk ration I had. It doesn't even come with an FRH. So to me, it didn't make sense because that I know it would taste a lot better hot than it would cold. But I don't know. Well, I guess I could have saved an FRH out of something else to try it, but oh well. So what I'm doing is I'm kneading up the peanut butter, and what you want to do is you want to knead that up because this stuff is 3 years old. So we're going on 3 years old. It's almost 3 years old. So what happens is the oils and the peanut butter separate, and if you don't knead that up, what you'll get is a slimy, almost like a snot consistency of oil, and you won't get much peanut butter. The peanut butter will still be in there, but it'll just be like really dry and crusty. And when you knead that up, what you're doing is you're putting the oil back into the peanut butter, so that when you squeeze this out, you'll get actual peanut butter again. So that's why they always tell you to knead these up. Even says knead package before opening right on the pouch, and that, obviously is even from fresh, because when you get a fresh case of MREs, chances are they've still at least sat around a few months before you got to them, or at least before the military gets to them. So you still got to knead it even when it's fresh. So I've been looking at this wheat snack bread where it's 2 pieces, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my plan. I was going to do one with peanut butter and jelly and the other with the pork patty, but after thinking about it, I think they do want you to eat the pork patty and the rice by itself, if not almost together, as not necessarily mixed up because it's rice and beans. So, but they want you to eat both those things by themselves, not on anything. That's what I'm getting at. And they give you the two. They give you the two wheat snack breads to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that seems to be what I'm going to do with that. Let's see if I can tear it open. Alright. So I'll go ahead and get this wheat snack bread here and see if I can. So now, see how I've kneaded that up. You now have this really creamy peanut butter, like it's supposed to be. And MRE peanut butter is actually vitamin fortified too. I'll show you here in a second once I get all of this out. I got a funny feeling that this is going to be kind of a messy situation once I get it all put together. But I'm going to go ahead and squeeze the rest of this out. While I'm squeezing this out, I just wanted to ask everybody if they had a good holiday season. I know Christmas time and New Year's is kind of a busy time for everybody, and for a lot of people it's expensive. Christmas time anyway. Some people they don't. It's not too bad, but obviously the bigger family you have, the more expensive Christmas time gets. But on the flip side of things, our soldiers, they don't get to be home for Christmas. they have to do Christmas a lot of times out on the battlefields or wherever they're at, in the mess halls, just wherever they're at. And for them, a lot of times that means picking out as close to Christmas meal MRE that you can come up with, and everybody out of the platoon just kind of gathers around and eats MREs, and maybe if they're not, where they can give us their positions up, sing a few Christmas songs or something. So the soldiers overseas, they're out there doing the ultimate sacrifice. They don't get to be home for Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. They have to more or less miss that time with their families. And a lot of times, there's chances that they won't ever make it back to have another holiday season with their families. If they get into a situation, So they're out there making the ultimate sacrifice. It's kind of a saddening thing to note, but just what I like to do is if I'm out somewhere and I run into somebody who's a veteran, which my grandpa is a veteran. He was in the Navy in '53 and got out in '55, so he didn't spend a lot of time in the Navy, but still, for those couple years, he missed Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that stuff too. So you have to definitely get out there and thank a veteran for their service. They appreciate your thanks, and they appreciate serving this country and doing what they have to do so that we can get on YouTube and make videos. If it wasn't for them guys, a lot of the stuff that we take for granted wouldn't be possible. So those guys definitely earn your thanks and respects. So always get out there and think about them. You don't have to wait till Veterans Day or any special day. Just if you just run into one, it only takes a couple seconds. Thank a veteran. And here's your that was strawberry jam. This is strawberry jam. It actually has little pieces of strawberry in it. So now what we do is we'll put this together and we'll have like a peanut butter and strawberry jam sandwich. Somewhat. Oh yeah. And there's the completed epidemic. It's going to be messy, I can tell right off the bat, but we'll give it a try here and see what. I'm sure it's going to be good, but that's not bad. I'll be right back. I gotta go. Alright, I'm back. What I had to do was get a plate because I could tell that thing was going to be coming apart on me in a hurry. I'm going to set that down, I guess, right here for right now. I think that's that. That's that. Oh, there goes the spinning. I'll get that. Also, your main MRE bag makes an excellent trash bag once you get everything open and empty. Just put all your trash down in your main outer bag. And it'll help keep things kind of decluttered. Got our MRE spoon. Got that fixed. Tried that. Trying to think of what all I've tried and what all I haven't. So our sleeve for our FRH is kind of deteriorated quite rapidly. So this is what we got left. It feels pretty warm. And it's been in there for well over its time, so I'm sure it's done. Pull this thing out of there. There's our pork patty. Yeah, that's nice and heated. I keep spilling water everywhere I turn. And there's our Santa Fe rice, and it's perfectly heated. So the FRH definitely did its job. Just kind of messy, but it did its job. I spilled water everywhere. It happens. Like I said, that's probably mainly because I don't have a good place to do MRE reviews yet. Or ration reviews in general. So we'll go ahead and open this pork patty out and we'll give it a look and see what we got, see what we're playing with here. Jeez. Maybe. Our tear notches doesn't seem to want to tear. There we go. Get our spoon out here. Man, that jam is some sticky stuff. Like, I got some of it on my hands there after I took a bite. And it is so sticky. I'm going to have to use my wet nap. You all might actually get to see me use the wet nap this time around. I got to get some paper towel. I'm spilling stuff everywhere. I know this is probably a travesty for, messes of all messes, but oh well. I know I have the toilet paper in there, but it's not very absorbent. I'm sorry, MRE toilet paper is just more or less it's just fiber. See if I can get some. That was definitely not good. Spilling stuff. Alrighty, real quick before I drop it. Here's our pork patty. Looks like dog food. Nice. I'm sure it tastes better than dog food though. It did come with barbecue sauce. I think it's going to need the barbecue sauce, actually. Because without it, the barbecue sauce is it's just bland. So, what I'm going to wind up doing, I think, there's some weird juice stuff coming out here. See if I can show you getting this thing out on a plate. I tried it by itself without the barbecue sauce, and it is rather bland. So, here it is out of its pack, and as you can kind of see, it's got a pretty monotonous pork rib patty shape to it. I'm sure what they do, they just stamp these things out of a press, out of some like mixings of pork. That's always real appetizing. Now I gotta figure out what I did with the barbecue sauce. Oh hey, I found my lemonade base. That's a package for the Ranger bar. Found the barbecue sauce. So I want to put the barbecue sauce on it and see if it brings it to life. I also got salt, but I would imagine there's probably about a gallon of salt in that pork patty as it is. So we're just going to rely on the barbecue sauce to do its job. Barbecue sauce has salt in it as well, so. Coming up on an hour. I know it's getting kind of long. There's probably not a lot to see right now, but like I said, I'm trying to figure out a better place to do these instead of on my couch. Obviously not the greatest place, but you know, I'm just trying to work with what I got. So here's what I wound up doing with the barbecue sauce. I just kind of pulled it out there so that way I could kind of dip the pork patty in there. And here's a piece with some barbecue sauce on it. We'll see if that made any difference with it. Oh yeah. That barbecue sauce really woke that pork patty up. It actually tastes pretty good right now. Here's our Santa Fe rice, and would you look at that? 10 ounces lengthways. Now what I've noticed is that's pretty interesting because everything in here so far has been 10 notches this way. And this is the first retort pouch that I've come across in this 2015 MRE case that's got them going lengthways. And that's the way they are now. So I'm thinking that maybe right around the point of 2015 that this was made, must have been when they made the switch from across the top to across the length of the retort pouches. So we'll go ahead, and that's convenient for me anyway. So we'll go ahead and open up this Santa Fe rice and get some of it and see what we're playing with that. Alright, so here's a look inside of the Santa Fe rice. It just looks like a really cheesy rice. I can see little bits of peppers in there and stuff, so maybe it's got that going for it. Got a little bit on the spoon here. We'll go ahead and give it a taste test and see what it tastes like. Yeah, definitely you can taste the jalapeno peppers in that. It's like a really peppery Southwest style rice is kind of what that tastes like to me. A lot of the Southwestern dishes have those jalapenos and peppers and that little bit of heat going towards it. I'm pretty sure this has tomatoes in it as well. I see some of the beans. They're like a black bean. So that's actually pretty good. It's got a lot of jalapeno pepper flavor to it. The black beans are good. The cheese is good. Oh yeah, I was going to get a glass. I'll get a glass for the lemonade beverage base. Well, it's a red Solo cup, but you'll still be able to see down inside of it. It's just going to be yellow, just like lemonade, but on the 10 notch on it. Oh, okay, here it is. Alright, I got all the lemonade beverage base out of the little pouch. I don't know if you can kind of see it or not, but it's just a kind of like a fine yellowish colored powder. Not very much in that little thing, but it's pretty concentrated, so you know, a little goes a long ways. So you'll just go generous on your water. Since we got our handy dandy canteen here, we'll go ahead and put some water in there. We'll get a beverage base going here. probably be about good. Might be too much water. Close this up here. Surprisingly, I think the canteen so far is worth the $9.99 I paid for it. It makes adding water to all our beverages and stuff and FRHs a little bit handier. Stir this up a little bit. Now, these beverage bases, I'll tell you, they mix the best with room temperature water. If your water's too cold, you'll have a lot of floaties left over, and it won't mix up too well. And if it's like hot, well, it'll probably mix up good hot, but it won't be very thirst quenching hot. Alright, there you can kind of see it mixed up. It's kind of like a yellowish, cloudy yellowish color, but we'll give it a taste test and see what it drinks like. Oh, that's awesome. I could probably drink 4 or 5 cups of that. As well as the cocoa beverage base. The cocoa beverage base, I could also drink 4 or 5 cupfuls of that. Very good stuff. I think that's about it for this one. I taste tested everything, opened everything up, except the gum and the toilet paper and the wet wipe. My hands aren't sticky anymore, so I don't need the wet wipe. Unless y'all really want to see it, it's just a wet wipe. You get them when you go to these steak places and eat ribs or something. You get wet wipes. It's the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this MRE. I know this was kind of a cluster of a review, but I'm going to work on trying to get a place set up, like I said, in here to do these reviews, so that it's a little bit easier. I'm just kind of throwing everything around on this couch. It ain't too awful bad, I don't guess, but I spilt a lot of water and stuff, so it's definitely not very stable of a place to do anything like this. But I'll work on something and get something figured out here. Something like a bigger table or something that I can spread these components out on. It'd be pretty handy. But I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This is just one ration out of 2 cases I got so far. Plus I got I got 2 foreign rations in the mail on their way. So be looking forward to the reviews of those. They're 24-hour rations, so I'm going to have to try and think of how I'm going to do that, because I know if I try to do all that in one video, it's going to be like insanely long. So I might have to split that one up in 3 videos and do each meal in 3 videos. But I'll try to do it in one day, within one day, so it'd be like eating the meal or eating the ration throughout the day like you normally would. So the canteen to me kind of came in handy for what it is just now, as long as it'll last. I don't seem to be getting any kind of a chemical plastic taste from it, from the water coming out of it. So that's a plus, and it doesn't smell like chemicals. The plastic didn't, so it seems to be starting to be worth the $9.99 or the $10 that it cost. Like I said, it's very flimsy. It's very cheap, but then again, it is cheap in price. So you get what you pay for, I guess, with that. But, alrighty. So that was menu number 16 of the rib-shaped barbecue flavored pork patty. Came with the Santa Fe style rice and beans and the lemon beverage base and the cocoa beverage powder and the Ranger bar. I think that's actually all it came with. Oh, and the accessory pack with the gun and stuff. But yeah, it's a very good ration. I mean, I have no complaints with it. Everything tasted good. The rib-shaped patty is a kind of a weird texture and a weird look to it. I'll give it that. It does look kind of like wet dog food or wet cat food, whichever one you want to put it to. But it looks like that. It's really firm and dense, and it eats a lot better and it tastes a lot better than it looks. It's just one of them things. The rib-shaped patty, I don't know. We'll have to see how long this menu lasts. This might be one of those menus that they change out. I wouldn't think so normally, because I think it would be a pretty good hit amongst the troops. But I don't know. Maybe the troops are kind of unfavorable with it because of its texture and look. But we'll just have to see. I mean, it's to me, it's a really good menu. I like it. I have no complaints. Everything seems to go together pretty well. The Santa Fe rice is a good side menu to the pork patty, and because you got that spiciness of the Santa Fe, I guess that's why they give you the cinnamon gum. The peanut butter and jelly sandwich is kind of, it's just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've had plenty of amount of MREs. It tasted pretty much the same. It's still a hot mess, just like they always are. Yeah. So I think that's about it on this one. So like I said, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. There's plenty more where that's coming from. Hopefully next review I'll have a nice place, a better place to do the review at. So yeah, be looking forward to that, and the foreign ration coming, and the rest of these MREs. And I'm always thinking of different types of rations to get to try. I know I've watched a lot of them. I've watched a lot of Old Smoky's foreign rations, and Steve 1989's foreign rations. And there's a lot that I'd like to try. I'm trying to get a German EPA ration. I want to try that. I know enough German of the German language that I don't feel like I'm going to need much of a translator for that. Just in case y'all, I know y'all didn't know that. I never mentioned that before, but yeah, I do know a little bit of German, probably enough to let me squeak by in certain situations. I could read it a lot better than I can spell it, or not spell it, but read it a lot better than I can speak it. I can speak enough to get me by, like I said, in certain situations. But for a German EPA ration, I think I know enough. I don't need the Google Translator to tell what contents I got. Now the foreign rations I got coming in, they're 24-hour rations. It's called the Russian IPA daily ration, and their daily ration is exactly what it means. It means 24-hour ration. So it's got three 3 main entrees for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's got a bunch of snacks and sides, chocolate bars. It's got pate. I've never had pate before. I know that's strictly like a European thing. So you're only going to find pate in like European type rations from Russia all the way over to like Spain, however many European countries do it. So pate is going to be a new experience for me. I know what a lot of it's made from. So the flavor of liver and the ironness of liver, I don't think it's going to bother me too bad. So I don't know. It's just going to be something I'm going to have to try. Of course, whoever will view that video will be there with me to experience it. From all the reviews I've seen, or the ration reviews of the Russian daily IPA or 24-hour ration, everybody says it's a really good ration. There's a lot of good food in it. So I'm looking forward to that. It surprisingly was cheap. It only cost me like $25 a ration, and plus I got free shipping in it. So, for that price, I thought, why not? Order 2 of them. So I ordered 2 of the same ration, just so I could get a good judging on everything. The first ration, in case I don't know how to do some certain thing, at least I have the second ration to learn from my mistakes on it. I'm sure there'll be mistakes with it. I got an Esbit stove, which I think the IPA comes with an Esbit stove, so that'll be handy. I'll try to use the Esbit stove to heat up the main entrees in it. So that's a little bit of an idea of what's coming up in the near future. Like I said, I'm trying to get a German EPA ration. I think I'd like to try an Italian ration. I don't know. It's some of the. I think there was like one of those that came with a cordial of alcohol. I seen on Steve 1989 review. He actually had one that had a cordial of alcohol. I think he had a couple of them, and he said that was a pretty hard one to acquire. So. So I don't know, I'm just kind of pondering on stuff like that right now. I know money's definitely going to be an issue as far as trying to find, buying some of these rations, because some of them can be quite expensive. So like the German EPA ration, it's going to cost me like $60 plus like $12 shipping. So I don't know why, but that's like, it don't seem like a whole lot for a foreign ration, but it kind of is. Like compared to the Russian one I got for $25 with free shipping. You can't hardly beat that deal. So, but yeah, that's kind of what's coming up. I know I said that over and over, but I'm just trying to think of anything else I'm forgetting to say. Yeah. I think that's about it. I hope everybody had a good holiday season. Hope everybody got what they wanted for Christmas. I hope everybody got to spend some quality family time with each other. Maybe do a little bit of traveling around. Hope everybody had a good New Year's Eve celebration. Hopefully people didn't party too hard and do things they wish they hadn't done later on. But yeah, I think that's about it. That's all I got for you on this one. It's getting kind of a long video now, so I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna hang it up here. So we'll holler at y'all later on the next ration review. Later.